What in the Slime Gaming in the unholy year of right now has no right to be this good. How do you just casually drop one of the best sequels in any medium I've ever seen, not just video game? I feel like I've been Truman Showed. I've never seen The Truman Show. The graphics, the gameplay, chapter 4, the music, I should not have this platform, I am abusing it. You started this, you came into my house, I can't be stopped now. I do need to actually chill though, because my brain is in monkey ripping limbs off mode, aka it's Mean Girl era. So how about some quick context?
WoG Digital.
On October 13th, 2008, GOG of War released for PC and WiiWare after a roughly 2-year and $10,000 fueled development cycle. It was created by 2D Boy and developed mainly by its two employees, Kyle Gabler and Ron Carmel. Post-GOG Clarity, they split up. Kyle Gabler went on to start Tomorrow Corporation, which made Little Inferno, Human Resource Machine, and its sequel, and Ron Carmel went to work on his own shit for a while. 16 years later, that's real, we're getting old. A sequel was announced out of nowhere, got delayed, and then finally came out 2 weeks after I talked about the original, which I only realized would be the case while editing that video. That can't just be a coincidence. Now, I'm not a religious man, but now that we're all caught up, let me tell you how fucked up it is that this game is good. Typically for sequels to video game, you either want to match or surpass the scope of the original, introduce new mechanics, refine old ones, remove ones that didn't work, stuff like that. A good example of this, mostly, is Rocksteady's Arkham games. In Arkham Asylum, you had these small, intricately designed, almost Metroidvania-esque locations to Batman around in, and the traversal is built around this design. Cut to Arkham City and you now have a less intricately designed, yet still fairly dense open world to explore, and Batman's movements have been refined and expanded upon to complement this. And then in Arkham City, it was made even bigger. And for that, you were given the car. Except I hate the car. In fact, I hate this game. But generally, for a sequel, prequel, whatever, these are the goalposts. And unsurprisingly, that's hard. Ask the Star Wars sequels. I have never seen the Star Wars sequels. And yet here we have Tomorrow Corporation ticking all those boxes with pretty much mostly flying colors. This pisses me off. Right out the gate, in like the first 3 levels, GOG 2 showcases how it's going to ruin all over GOG type games for you. Starting with the most important thing, that being how video game play, it's the same general concept as its GOG temporary. Use the Lord's GOG to build structures to reach a pipe to beat the level and be given access to more GOG game now. It just happens that they dumped a stupid brain dead amount of new shit in that process. 13 new drastically different goo types were added to this game, ranging from, oh, that makes sense, to how in the fuck? Straw goo, big goo go small goo go big goo, rock goo, goo product white. And in an act of being more bile-coated and ichor-pilled, they somehow got the new mechanics to work seamlessly with the old mechanics. Dude, God damn it! You know how many times I've seen a game carpet bomb its balancing by having new stuff that isn't even remotely chill with the old stuff? Enough to make this point, enough that this is a segment. They also seemingly redid the physics engine, since structures seem to be less actively out for you specifically and break less easy. They also made a decision to give you an infinite undo button, so getting hard locked in a level is virtually impossible. They balance this out though by removing the whistle, which helps stop the goo from breaking your shit, and by having the levels be cruel and evil. Oh dude, no. Oh, dude, no! What the fuck? God fucking damn it, dude, no! Dickhead. You're a dickhead. Fuck you. I pray you run into financial issues. The level that fucked me with little aftercare has returned to fuck me with no aftercare. There's even a cheeky little sign that says, hey, this is a little hard. I hope you all get crucified. The levels are a giga super mega fuck longer than the original, with some going well over 10 minutes, leading this game to be well over 3 hours longer than the original, made even longer if you're trying to 100% the game, since now every level has 3 bonus objectives instead of each having 1 random bonus objective. It has 12 more levels than the original and again is fucked up. There's an option in the game to skip levels and I never had to use it in the original. I needed to use it to come back to levels later to not just stop myself, but also stop the magnitude 10 mega thrust earthquake that was about to localize itself entirely in my home. This game should not be making me mad. It's about the shit that Elmer sells for like $2. Besides just pissing me off, the levels also left me in awe. I said the original game's levels were wholly unique from one another and that it was witchcraft. If that's witchcraft, then WIGS 2 wouldn't last an hour in Salem. I don't know how they were able to have all the levels feel unique again, but here we are. Admittedly, some of the levels do feel similar to the original. That's at parts to be expected, but the vast majority of this game is so unnecessarily clever that it deserves to be studied like cave paintings. The last time I saw a puzzler with moments that made me go, whoa, was in 2011 with Portal 2, which just goes to show how really good the industry has been recently. That's not fair. Indie games have actually been really good in the past few years. You should play Iconoclasts. What, I just want to rep a game that I like. Okay, we can consider this the ad for the video. I haven't even talked about Chapter 4 yet. I needed to make sure that you understood the vision before I rug pull you. It's literally the only way I could relate what this chapter did to me. After 3 straight chapters of typical goo action with a level curve that looks like this, the game hits you with a 200,000 year time jump. Everybody's dead, fearmonger reference, and we are up to World of Goo 70. The chapter is the longest in the game, having 15 levels total, broke into 3 separate games. World of Goo 9, Paper Gulf, World of Goo 11, This Way Up, and World of Goo 17, The Black Stain. Gulf, that's so stupid, plays like golfing over it. Unfortunately, dickhead, fuck you, home address. This Way Up has you dicking with lay gravity and looks exactly like the original Chapter 4's design. The Black Stain is, I promise, an honest-to-God point-and-click Monkey's Island-ass noir adventure game with barely any connection to World of Goo. And what's wrong with it is how much I loved it. It's stupid. Everything to its gorgeous pixel art, to the overtly flowery way Cliff Spanner describes the most basic of things, to its cliche noir story and its oh-so obvious twists. Now, I've seen where this is a lot of people's least favorite part of the whole game, but I don't care. I sat in shock and piss the entire time at the notion that this is the same game that has Super Tower of Goo in it. Then the way the Black Stain connects Chapter 4 back to the normal game is so sick. I hate this so much. But I do have some qualms. The lever that comes down when you beat a level is really neat conceptually, sucks in actuality when I'm trying to finish a Goo Ball OCD challenge and 1/3 of my screen is unusable, lest I pull lay awesome lever and end the level before I mean to. The endless Goo Tower mode from the original is also absent here. I just don't get. Is fun illegal now? There's also no ability to zoom in or out, which would have came in handy quite a few times. And there's no sound options in a modern video game. Okay. Moving on, the way the game looks has also been massively improved, obviously. I would hope that in 16 years things would look better, and yes, I know you can see how good it looks, but I am nothing if not a shill, and I need you to vibe with this game with me for a little bit. It's so fucking pretty. This is so stupid. This is Tomorrow Corp's best looking game. Genuinely no contest. I'd even wager that it's in the top 10 prettiest indie games of all time. Not even including the paper, vector, or pixel graphics. The color choices alone are just really good. I just cannot believe that this is real. It feels like the simulation is breaking. Every level, and I do mean every level, could be framed. This had to be a main objective for them. Make every level look sick as fuck had to be high on the priority board. I can't just play this game anymore. I need to eat it. One thing that thankfully IMHO, in my horrible opinion, that didn't fully get the glow up treatment was the cutscenes. Now you could say that these cutscenes are the worst thing ever, and you'd be right. However, in the realest move possible, they barely touch these up. They still look crude as hell. Definitely not as crude as the original, but I respect the commitment. The animation is minimal, and new to this game is voice acting, and it's fucking awful. The performances themselves go from fine to fuck in the same cutscene. Every character's voice quality also varies. Some lines come out clear, some are muffled with a filter, close to the mic, far away from the mic, too close to the mic. The last cutscene in Chapter 3 alone shows all of these off in like 20 seconds.
Here comes again.
It's getting faster and faster.
Dear God.
It's moving so fast. Time almost stands still for people on the train.
I love it so much. And yes, the Black Stain also has this problem too. It's so good.
Come on, let me take you another cold glass of milk, doll.
Sorry you had to see that.
Again, I can see someone hating this, but I bet you also hated Farmville too, you vapid asshole. The music's good too. It rips, it's atmospheric, it's mostly rehashed from the original. That's a bit disappointing. And the story is here, I think. The original story down to its core was big corporation bad. Hallelujah, someone needed to say it. And I get them, you know, not doing that again, but things just do and are in this game. The World of Goo Corporation, now dubbed the World of Goo Organization, returns after blowing up in the original. That's about as far as that goes. There's a giant lake monster that spits fire into space. That's about where that goes. Chapter 3's train speeding up time into Chapter 4 and then Chapter 4 resetting into Chapter 5 is about the most you get out of this. There's a guy who watches the events of the game unfold and then comes in at the very end to spread his goo across the universe, making more worlds of goo. But again, it's not really connected to anything. Things just happen and the game really doesn't have a lot to say, which is fine. I can't say I'm bummed out about it, but it's odd that the story's like this. It does take some jabs here and there. It makes fun of shopping, it calls VR a fad that cycles in and out of circulation, which isn't wrong, and it calls out franchises that milk sequels, so it still has that Tomorrow Corp fuck you energy. It's just told in a story that makes little to no goddamn sense. But fuck it, man, I still like this game a lot. It did essentially everything I wanted it to do and then some. It played good, it sound good, it looked good, and me happy. And down $30, that's unfortunate. And has me using the Epic Games Store, that's unfortunate. I'd say the game's worth $30, mostly. And Epic did help them make it, so I can't bitch too hard. I could still bitch though. There's an interview Kyle and Ron had on the Epic Games Store on a bit of the background of this game. In said interview, when asked about a potential third or fourth goo type game, Kyle responded with, "I'm hoping we wring out all the possible ideas into this game so we can't possibly ever make another one." I fuck with that so hard. Also, Ron said he's never making games again, which this is about as good as a fuck off point as any. It's not perfect. It has its gripes, and my fists, frequently, but damn if I didn't have a great time. This is definitely a Game of the Year contender for me. It doesn't win, that'll probably go to Persona 3 Reload, because above everything, I am a bitch. But for a sequel to a 16-year-old game a metric fuck ton of people don't remember, that's pretty good. And as open of an ending as this game leaves on, I do not expect another one. I really, genuinely do not know what else they can do. And they run the guarantee of being lying hypocrite if they do. Maybe some content updates to fix some shit though. They'd be real for that. Okay, I'm done with Tomorrow Corp after this. I have like 8 real videos and 3 of them are Tomorrow Corp related. I'm done with them now.